There's 7 specific rappers who perfectly represent the 7 deadly sins of greed, lust, gluttony, pride, envy, wrath, and sloth. However, if you flip these upside down, you'll find another set of 7 rappers who represent the exact opposite, the 7 heavenly virtues. And today we'll be comparing rappers who represent the 7 deadly sins and their corresponding heavenly virtues, starting with gluttony versus temperance. The sin of gluttony is characterized by limitless appetite and overindulgence to the point where one is no longer consuming just to live, but rather living to consume. A rapper who expresses gluttony by constantly consuming beats and releasing music is NBA Youngboy. On the other hand, we have the virtue of temperance. Temperance is a virtue of self-restraint, especially as it pertains to drugs and alcohol in the world of hip-hop. Few symbolize this concept as well as Tyler the Creator. Both Youngboy and Tyler the Creator are extremely famous rappers, but the difference in their music and lifestyle is night and day. One makes constant music with lyrics that mention alcohol, drug use, and glorifies and encourages this, while the other does the complete opposite. His experience with alcohol and drugs are limited and will also hold those who are close to him accountable. Youngboy is a Louisiana rapper who's infamous for the absurd amount of music he puts out. He started writing and making music at the young age of 14, eventually dropping his first mixtape in April of 2015. Since then, in just an 8-year span, Youngboy has released a mind-boggling 26 mixtapes, 102 singles, 6 studio albums, 3 compilation albums, and 3 EPs, which cause many to label his music as quantity over quality. His music lyrics mention drugs and alcohol, and he himself consumes a lot of it. On the other hand, Tyler the Creator still makes thousands of songs, but he chooses only to release a select few which he considers to be the best rather than just putting out as much as he can. Outside of music, he focuses on a healthy lifestyle, limiting the use of drugs and alcohol, even keeping his recording sessions drug-free. But there is more than just music on the table here. It's also about the mindset. Their relationship with music also appears to be closely tied up to emotional comfort and coping mechanisms, or at least that's what he wants you to think. Youngboy doesn't care about the influence he has on his audience and just wants to make as much music as possible to earn more money. In 2022, Youngboy challenged himself to release 10 mixtapes that year, but after 101 songs including 7 mixtapes, he made a comment saying that he ran out of rhymes and asked for help. He ironically released another project just 10 days after making this comment. In contrast, Tyler the Creator cares about the quality of his music and takes more time to release the best songs and tries to have good influence on his audience, thus keeps a healthy lifestyle and tries to make people around him have good habits, such as the time when he was in a booth with A$AP Rocky and a few other artists. Tyler saw that someone was smoking a blunt and he slapped it out of their hand, stating that it was a distraction and that everyone was there to work, not to hang out. So as you can see, he takes his good habits and work very seriously and tries for everyone to have the same standards. Tyler's strict stance on music and substance use has received tons of love, respect, and understanding from his fanbase. It is purely through self-restraint that Tyler takes the virtue of temperance, and his consistency in working towards this has allowed him to achieve massive success, while Youngboy is being hated for his addiction to releasing poor quality music. However, this has also helped him become one of the most accomplished rappers in the game. Next up, we have Chance the Rapper and Future. The main difference between them, well, one of them is a married man who is dedicated to his family, while the other is involved in cheating scandals and has 8 kids in total from 8 different baby mamas without marrying any of them. This is exactly what makes Chance the Rapper a great example of the heavenly virtue of chastity, while Future is the opposite, being the human equivalent of lust. Chastity is described as complete fidelity to one's husband or wife during marriage, or refraining from any sexual activity that's considered immoral. Lust, on the other hand, is someone who often suffers from strong cravings or desire, often of sexual nature. Future is a rapper who's been in the game for over a decade and has become infamous for his toxic nature when it comes to women.
She belongs to the streets.
The music streaming service Tidal calls him the king of toxic and state that his music ranges from lyrics about infidelity to sexual prowess and pleading to exes that have moved on. Outside of music, he was involved in a sexual relationship with the wife of the NBA legend Scottie Pippen while they were at a rough point in their marriage. Another situation Future is infamous for is when he had an Instagram model fly out to him, then ghosted her after she didn't want to get intimate. He told her that he wanted to see her and that he would pay her back 1000% of the flight cost when they met up. But after she arrived at the hotel, he told her to wait for him with lingerie on. The woman refused, then asked if she'd still be seeing him, to which Future responded with, "I'm good, love, enjoy." Meanwhile, Chance the Rapper has always been a musician who preached about positivity, perhaps to a fault, as his raps usually steer clear of lyrics that hint of sexual themes, with tracks like Hot Shower being an anomaly throughout his discography. He isn't like many rappers that sleep around or have multiple baby mamas, and is well known to be extremely dedicated to his wife Kristen, so much so that it's become a meme amongst his fanbase. You see, he takes his relationship with his wife a bit more seriously than most people in general, and this made his entire career trajectory take a huge turn in 2019, which is the exact moment that he and his wife made things official with the release of the album The Big Day. Chance has become famous for having one of the most hardest fall-offs, due to the album receiving an incredibly poor reception, and everyone points to the woman he decided to dedicate the entire album to.
That he's happy and he's got a successful marriage, but this album to me just does not hit any places creatively.
The amount he was ridiculed was so bad that till this day he still hasn't dropped a new album and rarely ever pops out to do a feature or anything. But besides all the negativity thrown his way, Chance and his wife continue to raise their happy family of 4 in Chicago. So although it was for the worse, it seems there definitely isn't another rapper who upholds the ideals of chastity like Chance. While all of Future's lustful infamy led to a trend being created where people place his face over a toxic quote about women, and it looks like Future has no plans on changing his lustful ways anytime in the near future. Moving on, we have Drake and J. Cole, who have been friends for a long time. However, they exemplify two very different aspects, pride and humility. Humility is described as the quality of being humble, modest, and down to earth. Meanwhile, pride is defined as believing that one is essentially better than the others, failing to acknowledge the accomplishments of others, and excessive admiration of personal self. The rapper who best represents pride is Drake. Drake is no doubt one of the most accomplished rappers of all time, but the thing is, he doesn't shy away from boasting about his accomplishments. A lot of his song lyrics show this off, constantly putting himself on a pedestal. J. Cole meanwhile is known for his humble and down-to-earth nature, which can be seen in his lifestyle. While most people's goals is to live within their means, J. Cole has shown that it's possible to live well below them and continue thriving. Drake has also shown the world that he's not receptive to criticism, which is another sign of his pride. In September 2022, Drake privately sent harsh messages to YouTuber Anthony Fantano, seemingly due to the low rating he has been giving his recent albums. Fantano made light of this situation by not sharing the messages publicly. Even though this was an unbelievable story, Drake decided to take matters into his own hands and post the actual bitter messages that he has sent to his own Instagram. He used Fantano's own 10-point rating scale to call his existence a light one, all because he couldn't handle the criticism of Fantano's album reviews. Meanwhile, J. Cole lives a very humble life filled with no hate. He can be spotted biking around the city, taking public transportation, and even chilling at his food truck. He's even gone viral for candidly showing the fact that he had a shattered iPhone screen while buying a fan's meal for him, which prompted responses like, "Man is worth $1 million and can't replace a screen protector." In an interview with Kevin Hart, he even admits that he doesn't really have a splurge that he spends millions on.
What do you spend it on? What's the splurge?
I can't really sit here and bruh,
I like that.
Yeah, no.
That makes sense. From the space of.
I wish I had something for you though. I wish I had something dope like that.
I like that you don't though. I like that you are you.
However, his most humble moment definitely has to be before he was famous, as one of J. Cole's most famous stories is how he waited for hours in rain just to give a Beats CD to Jay-Z that he rejected taking, but he still managed to become the first rapper he ever signed just a year after taking the rejection as motivation to do better.
Is that true story about
Hell
you
yeah.
waiting outside 2 hours?
Shit, it was longer than that. Talking about for Jay-Z back in the days? Yeah, that's a real story. Me and E waited hours. Shit started raining. We had a little personal bottle, E&J, sharing the shit. He pulled up, hopped out the car. I had a CD, a beat CD I had made, and I tried to like hand him the CD. I had put it in volume 3, his album volume 3. I had put the CD inside of that. So I handed him the CD and he looked at it. He's seeing his cover of an album that did not come out yet, by the way. He's like, yo, what the fuck is this? And bro, no bullshit. Nigga looked at it and he was like, I don't want that shit, man. Get that shit to, like, man. And I was just crushed. Like, we was like, fuck Jay-Z. Like, we walked around the corner to the McDonald's for like 15 minutes. We was like, man, fuck this nigga, bro. We was like, man, he on some bullshit, bro. That's fucked up. Like, boom, boom, boom. No bullshit. A year later, I got a call that Jay-Z wanted to meet me because he heard a few of my songs from Mark Pitts, and he wanted me to come to his office, and of course I ended up getting.
Just by taking a look at some of his performances, we see moments of humility scattered all over. For example, he isn't afraid to honor his roots and perform at his old college or perform records by other great artists. He doesn't even feel that he's above performing in the rain just so his fans can hear his music. And that's why J. Cole represents humility on a level that simply can't be matched. While Drake, even though being one of the biggest rappers, he's full of himself and thus represents the sin of pride. This brings us to Sloth versus Diligence. Sloth is reluctance to work or make an effort, also known as laziness, while diligence is described as careful and persistent work or effort. Playboi Carti's behavior is characterized by slothfulness. Carti began his music career in 2011 and started attracting attention in 2015 with his singles Broke Boy and Fetty. Since then, Carti's dropped a whopping 3 projects in an 8-year time frame. Sure, there are other rappers who take long breaks in between projects, but they usually meet at least one of these 2 justifications. 1, being older in their late 30s or 40s, or 2, still consistently dropping singles and features while they work on their own project. Carti cannot use either of these excuses. Since 2017, Carti has released 1 single that wasn't for an album. Before his 2 big 2023 features with Travis Scott and The Weeknd, Carti had 0 features done for all of 2022 and only 7 total from the 2 years before. And in addition to rarely posting music, he also rarely posts anything online in social media. Meanwhile, Kanye West is the complete opposite of Sloth. Kanye West is widely recognized for his relentless work ethic, which has also played a pivotal role in shaping his successful career in music and fashion as well. Even from the beginning of Kanye creating music, he has consistently demonstrated a strong commitment to his craft. I mean, look at Through the Wire. He literally had a whole song about how nothing can make him quit. His innovative approach to music production, along with tireless dedication to pushing creative boundaries, has resulted in masterpieces that are his albums and honestly his discography as a whole. And like I said before, not just his music but his venture into the fashion realm with all of his Yeezy products show his determination to make an impact beyond the music scene, as well as Kanye's ability to seemingly blend the artistry business and an insane work ethic showcase an individual who perfectly represents diligence. Another rapper who is known for his incredible work ethic is Jay-Z, who has become the first billionaire rapper, but honestly I believe he's better fit for the virtue of kindness. Kindness is described as being compassionate towards others, while envy is the complete opposite of kind, and is the sin of jealousy over the blessings and achievement of others. The person that perfectly represents envy is Nicki Minaj. Nicki is widely considered to be one of the greatest rappers of all time, as she was the top-selling female rapper of the 2010s. However, her massive success did not come without a fair share of controversy, as she's been the perpetrator of multiple feuds with other artists stemming from jealousy. Funnily enough, Nicki's journey in rap actually all began from jealousy, as her whole reason for writing her first raps was because her neighbor was a rapper and she wanted to show that she was better.
I wanted to show the girl next door because she was like a good rapper and she thought she was so much better than me. So when she left, I went home and I wrote this little rap so I can like show her. And then I rang her bell and I started saying my rap and she just stood there like.
In direct contrast to envy, Jay-Z epitomizes kindness through his genuine and compassionate interaction with his audience and people. This was especially clear when he shared this moment with an elderly woman on the subway in New York.
Not very famous, you don't know me. But I'll get there someday. My name is Jay. What's your name?
Ellen, what do you do?
Ellen. I'm making music. I'm on my way to a performance in Brooklyn at the new Brooklyn Arena.
Yes. I'm proud of you.
Even now, we've seen plenty of times when he stops to give signatures and talks to fans even after getting off work or leaving a restaurant. Jay-Z is a busy man, there's no doubt about it, but at every opportunity it seems that he puts his fans first and does what he can to make their days, even when he's got a busy schedule ahead of him. While both Jay-Z and Nicki Minaj have a huge fan base and attract a lot of attention with their music, their underlying intentions differ significantly. Nicki's #1 desire is to be the #1 rapper and to be loved by everyone. However, when this doesn't work out, her true dark side comes out. Her most infamous example of envy came when the rapper Cardi B stepped onto the scene. Many believe that Nicki saw Carti as a threat to her spot as the top female rapper and was jealous of the attention she was getting. According to Carti and the evidence that backs her up, Nicki sneak dissed her, lied about her, and even threatened other artists to not work with her, all in hopes to crush her success. In addition, in 2018, when Travis Scott's Astroworld album was #1 in its second week over her album in its first week, Nicki was furious and instantly went to calling Travis names and discrediting his placement at #1.
Of the week, of course, is Travis Scott. But what we not gonna do is have this auto-tune man coming up here selling sweaters and telling y'all he sold 500,000 albums, because he didn't.
Meanwhile, Jay-Z's kindness is shown in genuine empathy and desire to uplift others, since to many of the rappers he embodies the supportive father role. He works behind the scenes to uplift a number of other artists. The number of ways he shows love is immeasurable, but some stand out for sure, like the time Jay bought a ton of copies of Nipsey Hussle's $100 album when he was on his independent grind. Not to mention the incredible number of guys who simply see Jay-Z as their mentor, long before there was money on stake, including J. Cole. Jay-Z is also really considerate, and this trait shines in his role as a father. Becoming a dad completely changed Jay-Z's outlook on life, and it shows in his many wholesome interactions with his daughter. Between his kindness to fans, generosity in the rap game, and considerate nature as a father, there's no doubt that Jay-Z has cemented himself as one of rap's kindest figures. Greed versus charity. Greed is described as a selfish and excessive desire to acquire something, usually pertaining to material wealth, while charity is defined as the voluntary giving of help to those in need. Punch Made Dev is a rapper whose whole identity is built off the ideas of greed. He initially became known in 2015 for being a YouTuber who would play NBA 2K. Even as a YouTuber, Dev was already showing his scamming ways, making fake videos about the other top 2K creators for views. He decided to make a switch to music in 2017 after being unsatisfied with NBA 2K's latest game and wanting a more lucrative career.
Videos. I ain't see YouTube I ain't see it making me like $1 million. I want to be a millionaire, so I was like, I gotta do something different. And then also 2K18 came out, and that game was just ass. I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. So that's when I switched over to music.
He started by making typical rap music, but a couple years later, on November 19th, 2019, he uploaded his first song in the genre known as scam rap. Scam rap is a hip-hop subgenre characterized by lyrics that focus on various forms of fraudulent activities. All of Dev's songs from this point on were of the scam rap genre, including some full tutorials on how to pull off certain scams.
Listen up, I'm finna show y'all how to hit a bank. Just pay attention, this a quick way to jug in any state.
He changed his rap name to Punch Made Dev in 2021, with the term punch referring to stolen credit card numbers. On the exact opposite hand when it comes to making charitable difference is Travis Scott. Travis Scott has launched his own charity called Project Heal through his Cactus Jack Foundation after the Astrofest tragedy happened, committing $5 million for different community projects in his home state of Texas. One aspect focuses on addressing safety challenges at large-scale events, obviously because of what happened at his own festival. And along with this, Travis pledged $1 million in scholarship for colleges across the US. And not only is Travis venturing through event safety and schools, another pillar of Heal addresses mental health, with a 7-figure commitment to fund different types of counseling and hotlines led by experts in each field. Travis also dedicated a 7-figure expansion of the Cactus Youth Design Center in Houston, supporting young artists and designers with a newly funded program. All of these different initiatives show that Travis is dedicated to helping his community, and even before the Astrofest stuff, he was doing different charity events, but it has really ramped up since then. One of the most significant differences between Punch Made Dev and Travis Scott is their approach to fame and influence, since one tries to give back to his fans while the other one does everything to scam his audience just to earn a bit more money. And this is what makes Punch Made Dev the personification of greed, while Travis Scott is charity. And our next rappers on the list who represent the sin of wrath and the virtue of patience are King Von and Kendrick Lamar. Patience is the ability to calmly bear, suffer, and tolerate the misfortunes or tasks that may irritate us. The sin of wrath, in contrast, is a strong feeling of hatred or resentment with a desire of vengeance against others. King Von exemplifies the sin of wrath through his explosive displays of excess anger, particularly in his music. King Von was known for his skillful lyricism and storytelling, as well as the aggressive style he delivered it with. His frequently rapped bars involved heinous crimes such as murder, but it was his involvement in crimes away from music that really showed show off his full capacity of his wrath. His first run-in with the law came at the age of 16 when he was charged with armed robbery. Another case he had was on April 29, 2014. King Von was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault, but was released the next day due to the inconsistency in the witnesses' statements. Just 3 months later, Von was charged again with 1 count of first-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. He was acquitted of the charges 3 years later and was released on December 6, 2017. In the end, all the wrath he had expelled seemed to have gone full circle, as his own life was taken in similar fashion to how he allegedly took lives via a shooting. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar demonstrates patience through the quality of his music. Each of his works is spaced out with plenty of time to perfect and fine-tune what he had created. And he's even on record saying that he can literally take up to 6 months writing one song, and that's exactly how long the track titled All Right took him. His most recent album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, came after an extensive 5-year hiatus. Despite fans begging him to drop more frequently, he took his time to make the album the best it could possibly be, and it paid off, as most people agree that it was worth the wait. But even when he's grinding, he stays true to his patient nature by taking time away from his craft to experience the beauty of life. Kendrick makes patience look easy by staying in his own lane and remaining true to himself. And this is the end of the video. If you want to see more videos like this, please leave a like and subscribe, and have a good rest of your day. Bye!